everyone, I'm Jay. Welcome back to another episode of the Lite Cast. A special episode for you today. It's going to be structured a little bit differently. Today, we are joined by the beautiful Jennifer Jess.
Hello.
How are you doing, Jen?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely awesome. I'm very excited for today's episode because it's not, we've had you on before, but as you've seen by the title and the little 20 seconds you just got of the brand new single by Roots, which we're going to be talking about today, we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into Jen's brand new single, which, can I just say, Jen, is absolutely incredible.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I was so, and like, I feel like on the run up to Roots, I was like so excited because obviously, I think when you last came on the podcast, I Cry for the Both of Us just released.
Yes.
And it's obviously a different mood to that song.
They're so different. Yes.
I mean, you can try to dance to Roots, but I would love to see it, you know.
A slow dance.
You could do a little slow dance. I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe we should try that, you know, maybe compare the two. But no, like you've kind of gone back to like, obviously before I Cry for Both of Us. This is what I love about you, that you do like kind of there's two different sides to you, Jen. There's like
Yes.
the DJ funky, like Imagine You, Let's Get Up and Dance, and there's like Roots, Strength and Love, and then we have all this like, I love it. This is perfect, you know.
And this year is going to be, I mean, you'll see even more sides of me that are different than both of those. So,
Oh God, now I'm excited.
With the releases to come later.
Because I remember you said when you were last on here, like you've got, I think it was, did you say you had 4 singles for this year?
I am releasing 5 this year. That's the goal. Yeah.
Oh, 5.
So
Oh my God.
we've done 2
We've
so
had
far
2.
now. Yep. So 3 more.
I mean, only Roots released today from when we're recording this. This comes out 3 days after, but today
right.
Roots came out. So I've listened to it 3 or 4 times. I've listened to it on stream as well, and like already the response is just like, it's beautiful. It's so nice.
That's amazing. And really,
You can really,
like,
sorry, you carry on.
oh no, you're fine. I was just gonna say, listening to it like 4 times a deal. So it's my longest yet.
It's longer, isn't it? Because I noticed that. Because it's like, obviously, yeah, like with this, obviously, I don't know too much about like making music, but I'm guessing with the slower songs, it's a lot easier to make it longer because obviously it's not like lyric after lyric. You can slow down the lyrics, I'm guessing.
Well, yeah, and with this one, I had more of a liberty to make it a little bit longer because it falls within the Christian inspirational genre, and those are naturally
Okay.
like you'll find some songs in there like 9-10 minutes. So
Oh
yeah,
my
that's why.
God.
Yeah, because normally in pop world, you really don't want to go over 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So
Yeah, like
this
especially if you're
is
making a song for the radio.
yeah, this one's a little different. It can still go on the radio, but like on the Christian channel, probably if it's going to be that long.
That's what I mean, like behind it, like saying like Christian like music. It's the meaning behind it is just beautiful as well, because obviously speaking about like your like Imagine You and Minecraft Opus, obviously there's still meaning behind it, but like you can really hear it in this song.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like obviously like we can talk about that, but like what was your meaning behind the song? Like, do you know, like you could speak a bit more about on that? Like what inspired it? Because I know, didn't you I'm remembering from memory, but didn't you kind of sing the song on Twitch for the last year or so? Or am I being
Yes.
Have you sang the song before you recorded it?
Yes, I wrote it back in 2019 actually. And
oh my God.
Yeah, and then I slowly started singing it on stream, and then eventually, like, people heard it enough, and they're like, "Okay, can you record this already?" So,
Just like, please record it, Jen. We need this.
yes, exactly.
I mean, that's what I mean by like, the anticipation. Yeah, like exciting. Like I was ready for it. I was like, wow. Especially like talking about the meaning of it. Like, what did that mean for you? Like to release this song? Because I know there's like quite a special meaning behind it for you.
Yeah, and for me, it was like I was originally writing it just for like a church event, and I mainly write pop songs. Like that's my main thing. So when I sat down to write it, I was just, I was pulling from the parts of me, and what I believe, and also I was trying to write it in a way that could more commercial and potentially cross over. Because though it's like a Christian song, I wanted to write it in a way that other people could relate to it too, that aren't just Christian, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like having that balance must being obviously sounds difficult to have, but it's also important to have that as well, you know? I think that's
Yeah.
a like especially when I listen to music, I feel like personally, this is just a personal thing that, but like you can make your own connection to it. Do you know what I mean? So like the lyrics
Yeah.
might mean something completely different to someone else, but you know, to you, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, like
Exactly.
having a Christian background, then someone could have a completely different background to that. It's not always about the main purpose behind the song. You could have a completely
Right.
different.
Yeah, and I wanted to just bring people and, you know, draw from places that bring them strength.
Exactly. Like it kind of like reminded me of your song Strength and Love as well. Like I kind of got like that proper feel from it as well. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you
Yeah.
feel that way, but I
Yeah,
kind of get that
definitely.
like feeling of like you could take whatever you want from this song, but it's all about having strength and like, for instance, in Roots, it's all about going back to your roots and like being strong on that.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Your foundation. Yes.
And foundation, exactly. I think that's is that what inspired your lyrics then of just like family as well, not just religion as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think that and then just yeah, I shared this on my Twitch stream last night too, is, um, I was thinking about my family too because I was playing piano on my aunt's piano up in Michigan, which is already inspiring because I don't get to play on, like, that often. So, that was nice, and then before we went through all of my grandmother's old journals, and that was just super inspiring too, just what she went through and everything and how just different things passed down the family, and yeah, so definitely there's definitely a family influence in there too.
I mean, that's just like I personally, I know a lot of people can say so. Like, I just love it when a song does have meaning for the artist as well. And obviously, like I for both of us, you can tell that had meaning behind it. But like, definitely when you can hear it, like, do you know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
can properly, you can definitely hear it in the song. And when I first listened to it this morning, I was like, damn, this hit me because it's like you can really hear it because it's
Oh,
like,
I'm so glad.
especially the lyrics. You know what I mean? It's that's
Yeah.
what like personally the music I listen to. I love to have a little bit of like a dancey pop, but I also really like artists that I really like is like Adele and stuff like that. And I feel like I could properly get that kind of music from my roots of just properly like meaning and also it's not extremely sad, I wouldn't say. Would you say it's really sad, obviously?
Roots?
Yeah, roots. I wouldn't say roots is really sad.
No, no, it's
No.
definitely just meant to be uplifting, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually you got me thinking about it too just now, like, it's also sort of grounding to me, like, sometimes I deal with anxiety, and
Uh-huh.
I don't know, I find that song very grounding, like, when I listen to it, it kind of puts me back on planet
Like
Earth, like
therapeutic.
yes, it's very therapeutic, yeah.
That's what I mean. Like you can, when I had the first intro, I was like, you can definitely hear the meaning behind this, and like in the vocals and everything, like 100%. Like I feel like a lot of people have this misconception of like, oh, like a slow song's always sad and like it doesn't have any meaning. It's just like about a breakup or it's about some bad romance I had. But I feel like definitely behind
Yeah.
this, like the lyrics are so unique as
Oh,
well.
thanks. Thank
So
you.
like you've really crushed it, Jen. Um,
Yay!
here's your reward, Jen. You did so well.
Thank you so much.
But no, like definitely when I listened to it, I was like, okay, yeah, this is like redefining what a slower song can be. Because I feel like a lot of people have that misconception of like it's gonna be really sad or like it's not gonna be uplifting. It's just gonna make me even sadder. It's like no,
Right.
like a lot of people like even don't even listen to the lyrics of a song and like it's
That's
going back to
true.
like different lyrics have different meanings to everybody.
That's true.
Like, do you? I don't know if like from other people you've realized that or like have you had any experiences when a song's had a different experience with someone else? Like I know any songs that you've made because I noticed when I listen to Strength and Love because that's one of my favorite songs by you. I noticed that like when I watched it on I think I watched it on YouTube a while ago when I first started listening to it, and a lot of the comments on that video was like this really helped me. through like different
Yes.
situations. Like, could you talk about that a bit?
Yes.
Like how you're
Yes.
obviously, I know we're not speaking about strength and love, but that's just like a good
Yeah. So
thing to go off.
Strength and Love was like a mental health song. That's kind of how that began. That whole song is pretty much all about mental health. And you know, it's honestly it's about an even one of the most I don't want to trigger anybody, but it's one of the deepest subjects of mental health. You might be able
Yeah.
to guess what that is.
Uh-huh.
And that's what that song is actually about. So it's actually that song is actually very, very deep.
Yeah, I definitely think like when I listen to that song, it's like, yeah, this is definitely one of your deepest songs. Or like, would you go as far as saying it's your deepest song? Like, I would
Um,
say
I
that from my point
I
of view.
definitely think that I'm thinking about all my songs right now. I think
You've got too many now. God,
I know
it's an
there are a
ever-growing
lot.
library.
Yeah, I would say at this point that song would probably be the deepest,
Yeah,
or even just the heaviest,
yeah.
in a way, sort of. But it's uplifting at the same time.
It's difficult to explain. Is it like you need to go listen to Jen's library now? Everyone needs to
Yeah,
go do their homework, guys. Especially with like
yeah,
strength and love. I know we're here to speak about roots, but I think it kind of ties in well, like the meaning behind it and like how different people take different perspectives of this music.
yes,
And like
yes.
going back to the comments, like I saw some quite deep ones like this helped me get through cancer and stuff like that. Like I was like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I need to go back and read those
Yeah,
because
because I read them like quite recently when we were doing our first podcast interview, like kind of getting some background on like some of the songs. I
yeah.
was like, oh my God, like this, like it's strange. Like obviously, I bet for you how your music hits different people.
And honestly, like when I wrote that song, I mean, that was the goal that, to be a song that someone can pull on and help them through something. And actually, I have to go back and read the one that you mentioned about the person going through cancer.
Yeah,
Because I actually, I've had people come up to me in real life too, like people I know or acquaintances, and they'll tell me they listen to that song, and then they'll tell me like something really hard they were going through and that they listened to that song and it helped them get through it. So I mean that's just like makes everything worth it.
I don't agree with that because like the song, like we said, it's like your deepest song. It's like the most hard hitting, but also that song, from the comments of what you've just said, like it obviously doesn't always make people really sad. It actually, and it's strength. It gives people strength and it gives people love.
Yeah,
And I think it's
yeah,
like all going. It kind of music kind of makes you reflect that feeling. Like I feel like a deeper thought of music is like when you listen to a song, it kind of makes you reflect that feeling in yourself.
yes,
So like I feel like when
definitely,
people listen to Strength for Love and especially like Roots, so like I
definitely.
personally when I think about when I listen to it, it's just like I kind of thought about like roots of like your childhood, like when you're growing up. I don't know if you kind of
Yeah,
got that feeling a little bit, but did I? Was that just me? Were you
no,
expecting?
it was definitely like that can definitely be tied into it. I mean,
Yeah.
really, even if the song isn't directly about that, it was, you know, I was just surrounded by family, and talking about family. Like it was this whole like family get together that I was at where, I
Mhm.
ended up writing it that weekend. So it was though it may not be directly inspired by that,
Yeah.
it's a part of it, because I was inspired being around family at that time. Yeah.
I think roots is like such a strong word as well. Like going like it can mean many things. You know, roots isn't just one singular word. Like roots can be something you
Yeah.
believe in. Roots can be yourself. Roots can be people that have guided you along the way. And I feel like it
Yeah.
also can just be your inspirations in life. Like so, I feel like definitely listening to the song, many people can take different experiences. Exactly, kind of like referring it to "Strength and Love," one of your older songs. It
Yeah,
just kind
definitely.
of I think obviously the song's been out of date, but I'm interested to see how people might react to it. You know?
I'm very curious too. Yeah. I and it's different too because I can't be, I'm trying to figure out being in a different genre because now it's in like a Christian inspirational genre, figuring
Mhm.
out how to market that to my regular audience and then also to people who want to hear that kind of music. So it's
Exactly.
definitely been interesting navigating that. So
That's like the beauty of though, like obviously being like an independent artist and like an independent creator as well, that you can make them decisions. You don't have someone behind you being like, do this, do that. Like you can
That's
have
true.
whatever road you want to be on. Like, do you know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah. I mean,
And so like it's
changing
perfect having someone not
changing up
stop you.
genres. Yeah. Yep.
That's I personally
Exactly.
love that though. Like I love listening to an artist that has more than one kind of not just genre but like tone as well.
Oh yeah.
Because like sometimes I know I'm in the mood for like some roots, but sometimes I'm in the roots for some Imagine You. You know what I mean?
Right. And same
It so then
same with me.
so like I can listen to Jen in any mood I want, which I think is just perfect. And I think when you say like marketing your audience, like I think you don't need to worry about that at all from what I'm seeing because every single person can listen to you in whatever mood they want to be in because your library is so not just like not diverse in a bad way, but diverse in a perfect way where it's just it shows your skill and also your talent as well, I think. That's the way I look
And
at it.
part of that and part of it was my way, but also part of it like now where I am now, I'm just
Yeah.
I'm still testing the waters away. Like I'm releasing stuff, I'm seeing what people really like, and also just releasing what I want to release. And so just kind of having the freedom to do that while growing my library is fun. Um,
100%.
and then maybe like other could be more settle down more on a common sound. Whereas now I'm sort of playing like, later this year to have a song come out which people I've never heard in that way before. So I'm playing around.
But you have nothing against you to stop you from doing that, you know what I mean? Like you have nothing because you're an independent artist. There's not people pushing you behind. And I think that's just I think people are excited for it. Like I'm especially excited for it because I think we get to see many different sides of you. And I think obviously you've been in the industry for a bit now, but you're still quite early in it, so you can do whatever you want really, you know?
It's true. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's it's crazy because it feels like it for so long, but that's because
Yeah.
when I started streaming on Twitch, I hadn't even released music yet. I mean, I didn't even release music until
Um,
2019. So, I kind of feel like part of me is still testing the waters. I feel like while doing that, I'm just finding what who I really want to be musically. So I feel like with every piece that I have, I look
exactly. And I think like a question for you, like what would you say is your most successful thing that you like to make and what people react to the most? Like what would you say is that kind of genre for you? Is that like your Imagine New stuff or is that like your like root stuff in a way, like referring to your songs?
yeah, you know, I mean, I guess we'll see with Roots, but with it's interesting because all of like I've also been learning marketing on the way. So the way I marketed my songs in the beginning is way different than how I market them now. And with every release, I
Yeah.
feel like I get a little bit better at marketing. So it's like it's hard to judge because it's like a lot of these songs, whether they lift off or not, a lot of that has to do with how much I push it. And like for instance, my Blindside EP, when I released that, if you go back and look at those, you'll notice that the streams are down a bit. But I don't think it's necessarily because of the songs. I think it's because, well, I know it's because I went through a breakup when I released those songs. And
Ah,
yeah, so instead of marketing, I was crying. So, um, yeah, so that didn't get the TLC it needed, to lift off in the very beginning. So it really just depends. But then on some of my stuff, like Blue, um, that one sort of lifted off after being put on one playlist. It got boosted, and then the algorithm picked it up after it got on this
yeah.
one list. So because of that, then that thing just took off. So then sometimes I'm just like, okay, maybe I'm still figuring out like what percentage of it is the actual song, and then what percentage of it is the marketing. That
100%.
makes a song lift off and be successful.
I think like speaking on that, it's like it's not just as simple as releasing the song. Like you have to do so much behind it. And
Yes.
like you see that like music videos, lyric videos, Instagram posts, Twitch streams, you know, it's like it's not just as easy as just making the song. Like even that's tough in itself, I bet, let alone you know, doing all this marketing as well. Because obviously at the end of the day, you're still an independent artist and you don't have a huge team behind you that's like, don't worry, Jen,
Absolutely.
you record the song, we'll do all the rest for you. So it's
Right.
like it's probably I can imagine it's difficult because obviously even with like me having a Twitch stream and a podcast, I'm a bit like, oh my god, like I have to do all this stuff. But like I can imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. It's quite a lot, and it's also the kind of thing of there's just it's like there's never enough that you can do. So every time a song releases, there's just no limit to how much content you can put out for it. So it's like, I feel like a lot of the song success depend on how much output of content people do.
Exactly, and also like having a community around you to like also share the song is brilliant as well because I see that all the time. It's
Yes.
like on your stories on Instagram, it's like that's just amazing
Yes.
to see the response.
That really is. And there that's things I just have groups for fans. I just love my music so much and still leaving it.
Exactly. So like having this many years on Twitch, like I would say it from Twitch as well. Like Twitch is completely different to any other app because you don't just only get to spread what you want to spread, but also like you can create such an amazing thing on Twitch than no other app can really do.
Yeah.
And it doesn't just reflect onto Twitch as well, like it reflects onto everything.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And I think that your most personal people you'll find the connection you can make with people on Twitch is just amazing
Yep.
compared to anything else. So like, you know, having that kind of connection with your fans as well is amazing.
Absolutely. A lot more
Would you say that any singers like artist inspired roots, or was it just the meaning behind it as well? Like, was there any artists that inspired it?
like like right song. I was like, okay, I really didn't know of many Christian artists. I didn't know one other that label. And I'm a huge fan
Oh,
also able to as a direct song that kind of relates to what people much in and um universal um part and that's my
I mean, it's great to have people like, obviously, like you saying a minute ago, like going into like a new genre for you. It's good to have people that also inspire you as well.
yes.
And also, like when you said you were playing, when did you say you played roots? Like in 2019, you started singing roots. Or was it 2017? You said.
Yes. 2019. Yeah.
So has the song changed from then? Like, have you tweaked it or anything, or has it like always stayed the same?
So it was a lot of saying all up until I started to uh, think about recording it. And so when that happened, I sat down with Jess Zero, which he plays guitar on one of my songs. Um, but I asked him because he played for a lot of different churches and he was very familiar with like today's contemporary Christian music and stuff that is really different stuff that and sometimes like to like produce this, more on that. Um, and so we sat down and produced together, and that's what started to evolve from what it was before. And that's where the change started happening. And we decided what we really wanted it to sound like.
Well, it's really interesting to hear because obviously this kind of genre is not heard every single day. Like I personally, from roots, I'm learning about it now, like with you.
Yeah.
But would you say that it's like, were you nervous to release something like this, or were you like a little bit more like,
Yeah.
oh, like I'm kind of excited to try something new?
I think I didn't know what to expect, you know, 'cause I know that I
Yeah,
mean, it doesn't matter
I bet.
what genre it is. When you're releasing a new genre, there's always just sort of thought in your head, like, "Oh, you know, what if people don't like this new genre?" Or like, you know, but at the same time, it's like, it's let's give it a go, you know? Let's see what happens.
Exactly. I feel like always jumping into something, like doing, just like going, you know what, let's just go for it. What's the worst thing that can happen? You know, if people don't like it, then I know, or like if I like it, that's the main thing, right? So
Yeah.
like definitely making something new, I think is kind of refreshing as well for people to listen to.
Yeah. I feel like
Because like,
um, I um, but I was gonna say that what made me feel really good about releasing it is that there were just so many people around me saying, "Hey, can you release this song?" And so that made me feel better about it.
it's different. Like there must have been like a process of like what, 4 years where you're like, okay, I'll give it to you now. I'll give it to you now.
Yeah,
It must have taken like a lot
honestly,
of people to say, come on, Jem.
yeah, it like a lot of people also the same people, and just have you and I don't really talk so
Exactly. Like I personally am very excited to hear it. I mean, we're like what we're 7 months into the year, and I feel like when we spoke a couple months ago on I Cry for the Both of Us, like even I think you were kind of saying that you were still nervous to release that. So like, and personally, after what 3 months or so now, I think it's been a couple months since I Cry for Both of Us. It's
yeah,
been a hot minute.
yeah,
So
yes,
like that's one of my favorite songs by you, like quite easily.
oh, fun.
I think I even said that to you when we last spoke. Like generally, like Imagine You was like one of my faves, and then I was like, okay, I'm excited for this one because like even when you did the marketing for I Cry for the Both of Us, and did that little, I'm sure you remember like that little snippet you did of the intro. I was like, this is gonna bop. And then when I heard Roots as well, I was like, this is gonna bop. So you just can't miss. I don't think it's very difficult for you. But it must be like it's great to hear like you going from like a kind of dancey hit. Like what would you call I Cry for the Both of Us? Should you call it for more like a pop dance kind of? I get that disco feel definitely, but it's like it's kind of like we've had this really upbeat song now with like kind of down and like in your roots, which I think is just really good to have that mix up. Like I'm sure you were nervous to do that, but like I think it's personally great. Yeah, like I'm guessing like especially with that, like would you definitely say like you get a bit more nervous releasing songs that have quite more personal lyrics, would you say? Like surely that worries you a bit more than like because obviously I'm guessing releasing any piece of music is a little bit like, oh like do I want to release this? Do I want to release that? Like do you ever kind of cut lyrics out or like You know, that's quite interesting to think about as well. Like personally, like, if I was in that kind of situation of like releasing lyrics, like, do I want to make it too personal? Like, how much do I want to tell people? Do you know what I don't. I bet you kind of get that feeling as well.
Yeah.
No, that's interesting. I feel like overall, Roots, listening to like it like a couple times now, like I definitely feel like it has a personal feeling. Like I feel like, and going back to even saying what we did at the start of this, like it definitely has a personal feeling that anyone can take anything differently from it. Like you can take whatever you want from Roots. Obviously, the artist of the song has their own opinion, but like I feel like anyone that listens to it can take whatever they want from it. I think that's just perfect. Yeah, of course. And was there anything you want to say before we wrap up this little interview today of the special episode of the Lite Cast? Is there anything you want to say about? We're going to finish off with a little bit of Roots. We're going to play it out. But is there anything you want to say before we say go stream it?
Um,
We've said a lot. We've said a lot. I love it, to be honest, and I can't wait to listen to it more. I'm excited just to come off and be like, let's like now knowing all of this knowledge, and I feel like hope people get this as well. I'm excited to hear this and like listen to it afterwards as well. So thank you so much for joining us, Jen. It's been great to have you back again, and thank you for choosing me to have a bit of an exclusive deep dive with you. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. I really do appreciate it. And thank you so much for joining us, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day and see you all very, very soon. Bye, guys.
Show me the things that are good and pure, and so you did. Better than silver, better than gold. You gave me wisdom to make me whole. More precious than rubies, your love unfolds, giving me the chance to understand you more. I'm waking from my sleep.